first 3 days of every single month. I am co-leader of True Seekers International. We are a fasting and praying ministry, and I need to hop right into it today. Today's affirmation, we're going to do the True Seekers affirmation. This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. I am a child of the Most High. I am redeemed by the blood, filled with the Spirit, and called for such a time as this. I am rooted in truth, growing in grace, and walking by faith, not by sight. The Word of God is alive in me. It renews my mind, strengthens my heart, and orders my steps. I speak with boldness, I live with purpose, and I move in power. I believe it, my eyes will see it, and my hands will handle it well. In Yeshua HaMashiach's name it is that I pray. Listen, if you're watching live, go ahead and type in live. If you're watching a replay, go ahead and type in replay. I hope that my lighting is good because I don't know what to tell you. Okay. Also, let us know where you're watching from because Pastor John and I like to pray for you in the region that you're in. So give me a second. Today we are going to talk about King David. We love King David. King David is the truth. But when I was talking to the Lord, I am really one to plan out all of the things in First Fruit Fast I don't get to plan out. He's just like, yeah, you can wait and see what we're going to talk about. And so he gave it to me, and I was just like, actually, that's pretty awesome. So I closed my book by mistake. I want to get my notes. But we are going to be in 1 Samuel today. So you can get to 1 Samuel chapter 30. That will be great. That's where we're going to be reading from. While I comb through my notes and figure out where I put them. Because I accidentally closed my book. That's the type of time I'm on. There we go. And if you're taking notes, and I hope that you are, today's saying topic is recover all. Okay? So I want to call that out. Hey, John, can you quiet down? I'm recording right now. Thank you. Mama's job is never done, I promise. All right, so we're going to go to 1 Samuel chapter 30. And we are actually going to start right at the top. So I will give you that. Okay? All right, so I'm actually reading from the CSB Christian Standard Bible today. Just FYI, I want to let y'all know that's what I'm reading from. And we're going to verse 1. David and his men arrived in Ziklag on the third day. The Amalekites had raided Negev and attacked and burned Ziklag. They had also kidnapped the women and everyone in it from youngest to oldest. They had killed no one, but had carried them off as they went on their way. When David and his men arrived at the town, they found it burned. Their wives, sons, and daughters had been kidnapped. David and his troops with him wept loudly until they had no strength left to weep. Let's stop there. I don't know about you, but I've definitely been in a place where I had no strength left to weep. I have cried all the tears that I could absolutely cry. I can laugh now because you just get to a point where you're like, I want to cry, but I can't. I'm trying to get it out, but I can't. Because you have cried all of the tears that you can cry. So I just thought that was worth pointing out because many of us have experienced that. Jumping into the next verse 5. David's two wives, Ahinoam the Jezreelite and Abigail the widow of Nabal the Carmelite, had also been kidnapped. David was in an extremely difficult position because the troops talked about stoning him, for they were all very bitter over the loss of their sons and daughters. But David found strength in the Lord his God. Now, mind you, David is going through loss as well, but because he is the leader, there is not any empathy given, okay? They want to stone him. And so I want to make sure that I call out that honestly, truly, this is a book of faith and encouragement. And that's one of the most important things of reading this chapter. And so, even with all of the things going on, he had to strengthen himself in God. So you might be going through some things. You might be facing some very tough times, but you have to make certain that you are strengthening yourself in God. And so we do that by remembering his promises. And not only his promises, but remembering the landmarks that we have. And so when we look at the landmarks, you're able to go back and tell yourself the story of what he did, what he did previously, what he did for you, what he did for your grandparents, what he did for your father's father, what he did for your father. So I just always want to make sure that I call that out because it's so important for us to remember. You have to find strength in the Lord your God yourself. Verse 7, David said to the priest Abiathar, son of Ahimelech, bring me the ephod. So Abiathar brought it to him, and David asked, should I pursue these raiders? Will I overtake them? Let's stop there because how many battles have you gotten into just off of GP? You didn't stop and ask the Lord if it was something that you should do. Let's think about that. We want to be in a space where every single thing that we're doing, we're asking the Lord, shall we pursue? Shall we pursue? And so he does that, and then the Lord replies to him, pursue them, for you will certainly overtake them and rescue the people. So David and the 600 men with him went. They came to Wadi Besor, where some stayed behind. And David and 400 of the men continued to pursue, while 200 stopped off because they were too exhausted to cross Wadi Besor. David's men found an Egyptian in the open country and brought him to David. They gave him some bread to eat and water to drink, and then they gave him some pressed figs and 2 clusters of raisins. After he ate, he revived, for he hadn't eaten food or drunk water for 3 days and 3 nights. Then David said to him, who do you belong to, and where are you from? I'm an Egyptian, the slave of an Amalekite man, he said. My master abandoned me when I got sick 3 days ago. We raided the south country of the Chetherites and the territory of Judah and the south country of Caleb, and we burned Ziklag. David then asked him, will you lead me to these raiders? He said, swear to me by God that you won't kill me or turn me over to my master, and I will lead you to them. So, not only is David having to trust God in a crisis, so is the slave person. Listen, I know what happened. I was there when it happened. And my master abandoned me. He abandoned me so much so I'm willing to let you know where he is. But please promise 2 things. Not to kill me and not to overturn me to him. Verse 16. So he led him, and there were the Amalekites spread out over the entire area, eating, drinking, and celebrating because of the great amount of plunder they had taken from the land of the Philistines and of the land of Judah. And so David slaughtered them from twilight until evening of the next day. That is a long time to be beating somebody, okay? From morning to evening of the next day. That's a long, if you've ever been in a boxing match, if you've ever seen a boxing match, they don't fight very long. David was so distraught and so mad, he fought them from twilight until the evening of the next day. So we're fighting for more than 24 hours. Crazy times. That's a different level of anger. None of them escaped except 400 young men who got on camels and fled. David recovered everything the Amalekites had taken. He also rescued his 2 wives. Nothing of theirs was missing from the youngest to the oldest, including the sons and daughters, and all of the plunder of the Amalekites had taken. David had gotten everything back. He took all the flocks and herds which were driven ahead of the other livestock, and the people shouted, this is David's plunder. When David came to the 200 men who had been too exhausted to go with him and had been left at Wadi Besor, they came out to meet him and meet the troops with him. When David approached the men, he greeted them, but all the corrupt and worthless men among those who had gone with David argued, because they didn't go with us, we will not give them any of the plunder recovered, except to each man's wife and children. They may take them and go. But David said, my brothers, you must not do this with what the Lord has given us. He protected us and handed over to us the raiders who came against us. Who can agree to your proposal? The share of the one who goes into battle is the same as the share of the one who remains with the supplies. They will share equally, and it has been so from that time. From that day forward, David established this policy as a law and an ordinance of Israel that continues today. So David came to Ziklag and he sent some plunder to his friends, the elders of Judah, and he said, here's a gift for you. From the plunder of the Lord's enemies, he sent gifts to those in Bethel and Ramoth and Negev and Jatir and those of Aurora. Lots of names, okay? But we got the point. Let's get down to it. This is a season where you're going to have to recover it all. There are things that you've lost. You need to ask the Lord, should I pursue? Shall I pursue? This is a season where the Lord is directing you, giving you guidance, and especially concerning things that you have lost. And when we see David's story, he recovers everything that the Amalekites stole, his wives. He even beat them so bad. He beat them from twilight to the next day, took their stuff, and then shared it and split it evenly. This is going to be a winning season, and so it's very important for you to be around the people who matter most. Your team and the people who you're around matter, because why? Not everybody went to battle, but David made sure that everybody got something. Everybody won, and everybody got a part of the spoils. So the friends that you're hanging around, you need to pay attention, take inventory of them, because everybody around you should be winning in this season, okay? And I love that he gave and set precedence for equal share of the spoils. He established that even the spoils of victory should be shared equally. And so you want to make sure that you value all contributions of the people in your life. The people that are praying for you, the people that are supporting you, and they don't always support you by being in your face physically. Some people really are just praying for you, and they will ask you what your prayer list is and how they can help you. Some people do send money. Some people will buy your products. Some people like and share comments. It just depends on what you have going on. But I just wanted to make sure that I shared that, because this is what the Lord was saying in this season. We shall pursue and recover all. And so this is going to be a season where you need to get direct guidance from the Lord, because he's the one that provided David with the assurance that he was going to succeed in the mission. He was going to succeed in rescuing the captives. He was going to succeed when it came to his involvement in the lives of the people that had been stolen. So I want to make sure that I call those things out. And I want to leave you with that. Okay, I want to leave you with that. Pay attention to the people in your lives. Pay attention to the things that you've lost. Pay attention to the things that hurt you so bad that you cried until you couldn't cry anymore, because the Lord says we're going to recover all in that season. So I wanted to share that. I hope that this blessed you. I love you. If you're watching the replay, go ahead and type in the replay. If this blessed you, share with some other people that could receive from this quick message. And I will talk with you all next time. Goodbye.